break down this nationwide issue of cities facing a water crisis, RT correspondent Ashley Banks joins us with more. Ashley, this is a story you first started with yesterday and you've continued to follow it. It's more across the country than what probably people expect.
That's right, Scotty. Now, this crisis is affecting residents all over the nation, not just in Newark. Earlier this year, President Donald Trump's former top environmental advisor, Scott Pruitt, declared a war on lead before resigning. Now, after leaving amid corruption allegations, EPA Administrator Andrew Wheeler has continued his work. However, as water contamination cases continue to increase across the country, many are questioning what is really being accomplished. Now, in Baltimore City, for at least a decade, the majority of its public schools have relied on bottled water. This came into play after the city detected lead in its schools' water fountains. And in Howard County, Maryland, just south of Baltimore City, lead levels are exceeding federal health standards. Between September 13th and October 16th, water samples were taken from 9 schools in the county. The EPA says immediate action is required if lead levels reach 15 parts per billion. Now, according to Howard County school data, the samples tested positive for lead at an alarming rate ranging from 22 to 288 parts per billion. By the year 2020, the state is requiring all of its Howard County schools to be tested for lead. Going over to Syracuse, New York, where at least 600 kids were poisoned by lead paint last year. Now, in 2016, Syracuse had the nation's highest lead poisoning rate. Many of the kids diagnosed with lead poisoning last year were 1 and 2 years old. Experts say this crisis is caused by a lack of money, weak laws, and roadblocks in government coordination. The health department says no one knows the true level of lead poisoning in children and adults in Syracuse, as not everyone has been tested. For all of the cities and counties battling a lead crisis, officials say in time, lead service lines will have to be replaced. But this could fall on the homeowner. Unfortunately, lower-income homeowners just can't afford to take on the cost. So in the long run, many more individuals could be in harm's way. Scotty?
For more on this lead crisis and others like it, we turn to attorney Corey M. Stern. He represents people who have been hurt by lead poisoning, including 2,500 children in Flint, Michigan. Thanks for joining us, Corey.
Thanks for having me.
As someone who is very familiar with this issue and who has sued numerous agencies and political figures, are you surprised that the authorities in Newark waited so long to respond to the concerns of its residents? And I have to be honest with you, I'm kind of shocked that the mayor right there put the blame back on the parents, saying you're the ones that's basically poisoning your children, not our problem. Is this kind of response typical, do you think?
Unfortunately, it's extremely typical. If you look at Flint, Michigan, if you look at the New York City Housing Authority, and now if you look at Newark, the initial response by officials who are primarily responsible or oversee those who are responsible for either the water or the paint in buildings, they generally start out by saying there's nothing wrong. Their secondary response is perhaps there's something wrong, but it's not our fault. Then it goes to there's something wrong, but it's your fault. And there's normally a fourth stage where they finally come around to concede some responsibility. So it's not uncommon, just Newark's in the first stage, whereas Flint and Nitro are a little bit further along.
Well, that's the thing, Corey. You would think these cities would learn their lesson after watching Flint, but unfortunately, we still do not have a long-term solution in Flint, Michigan, and other cities that have been brought to the national spotlight. They're still dealing with the issue, even if the cameras have gone away. Why do you think other cities are not kind of going, maybe we need to look into this problem before somebody else does?
I mean, the answer to most questions that nobody knows the answer to is usually money. And it's not as easy as just passing a bill, or legislating a fix. In the United States, significant number of homes that were, built many years ago have an infrastructure that's comprised of pipes that are, that are old and they're worn down. And when it comes to water, the issue is not normally the water itself, but rather the pipes that the water flows through. And if it was as easy as just changing a water source, people, governments would do it all the time. The problem is that you've got pipes both outside of the home and inside of the home that need to be replaced, and that comes with a pretty heavy price tag. So the reason why folks are not as proactive about it as most citizens would like for them to be is because the cost associated with it.
Well, that's the question. Where does the cost burden actually fall on? Is it something that's the personal homeowner's responsibility, even if they did not build the home themselves? Is there any sort of conversations going on with these pipe manufacturers? Granted, some have gone out of business, this, but is there anybody else that can bear the brunt of this cost rather than just these homeowners who already probably don't have enough or are living paycheck to paycheck?
Well, many of the issues are from common pipes, and so the water that flows from, say, Lake Huron in Michigan or outside of Detroit to Flint, there's pipes from which the water flows through that starts out not the personal property of the individuals who own the homes. So issue number one is fixing the pipes that are the responsibility of the government without any real fight. It's not that the government claims in Michigan or even in Newark ultimately that the pipes outside of folks' homes need to be replaced and it's their responsibility to fix them. Where the cost comes in and where the dispute comes in is that for a homeowner or for a renter, whose responsibility is it in that instance once you get beyond the street level and now you're in the level of the home? And in most instances, it is the homeowner's responsibility, but where Flint went wrong and where Newark is likely going wrong is that the pipes themselves may be okay if you use the proper corrosion control for the water. What happened in Flint was because there wasn't proper corrosion control, the water flowed through the pipes and seeped the bad lead or the copper or the iron from the pipes, not because the pipes were bad, but because the water wasn't treated properly. And in that instance, it's the responsibility of the folks who didn't properly treat the water more so than it is the homeowner. Because but for the water not being treated properly, their pipes would have been fine. My guess is from experience and from history, the same is going to be true in Newark. And ultimately, the responsibility is going to land on the city and the state.
Absolutely. And this can be a very expensive responsibility. So you'd think they would do the right thing and be proactive about it. But we're already past that point. So then why do so many residents of Flint, and now we're finding Newark, remain without safe drinking water all these years later? Is there something you would think either they don't have the chance to move? Why would they just stay in a home that they know could be potentially dangerous to their health as well as their children's?
So, if you use Flint as sort of the bellwether, for all of these situations, most folks in Flint, and frankly, most people who are affected by lead, whether it's in the water or if it's in the paint, they live in communities that are overpopulated, that have, very low income populations such that it's not as easy just to up and move. Many of the homes associated with the New York City lead crisis, they're public housing homes, and so it's not like folks have a ton of choices. In Flint, most of the folks who could leave have left. It's the folks that don't have the resources, don't have the means to actually go anywhere else that are stuck there. And so for a lot of folks in the United States looking at these crises, it's easy from 30,000 feet for me or for you or for anybody to say, well, just go. I mean, these are your kids you're talking about. But if the choice is between living in a home where there's lead and potential lead hazards or being out on the street and homeless, most folks are going to choose the warm place rather than being homeless.
Well, Corey, these are two sad choices that families are having to face in 2018, and thank you for your work you're doing to make the situation as best as you can. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
Hey, YouTube. Thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you.
All right, Shalom. All right, first and foremost, I'd like to get all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakakwadash. I'd like to say double honors to my elders, apostles, great millstone, and peace and salutation to the alchemy that's pushing this word, truth and sincerity. All right. Just showed a video about the water being, corroded, because the water, in America is not it's not pure, man. All right. So this is a good title, say water crisis on the rise across U.S., which that's true, man, because the water, the water pipes and the corrosion, of Babylon, man, is no good. So that proves in the scriptures that this place is going down, man. Okay. This place is done. It's over. Okay. Esau's construction, Esau's manufacturing, financial, all that's going down, man. All right. So I'm gonna get into some scriptures. It's gonna be a little short lesson, man. All right. So basically, these prophecies coming to pass, man, because they say it was in New Jersey, now it's across US. Okay. So it really ain't gonna be no good drinking water. You got lead poison, all that shit. Okay. But I'm gonna go to Isaiah. for a second. Go to Isaiah chapter 14, verse 11. It says, "Thy pomp is brought down to the grave." The pomp, Esau's pomp, man, is rulership, exaltation, his pride, man. Okay, because Esau, he's the king of pride, man. Because it's getting brought down. All right, he said, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, and the worm is spread under thee. Okay, so the worm represents what? The infrastructure, the breaking of the infrastructure, the decaying of the infrastructure. Okay, got the roads. Okay, it's decaying. Still have enough money to pay the asphalt to fix the roads, man. And also, we got construction all over Babylon. Esau really trying to like fix America up, man. Which America is not going to be healed. Which that's the next scripture. They say, "Of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee." He say, "And the worms cover thee." Okay, so that represents the decaying infrastructure, because them pipes is part of the infrastructure. Okay, so America is basically, it's going down slowly for surely, man. It's cracking, it's peeling, man. Okay, because how they gonna get the pipes fixed? Okay, they don't have enough financial to fix the pipes, man. All right, so the majority of the money going towards the war. All right, read it again. It say, "Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee." Okay, so the worms represents the infrastructure, the bad infrastructure, Salakia. All right, so this place is cracking, man. It's cracking before our eyes, man. Okay, and that's a good thing. I'm gonna go to Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 8. It says, "Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain." All right, so basically, we supposed to howl for Babylon, which is AKA United States, and we supposed to take balm for her pain, which trying to heal. And on top of that, how we take balm for her pain, and this is a wicked society. Okay, Babylon is suddenly falling, which it is, which we see it as through the pipes, through the infrastructure, the lead poisoning through the pipes. Okay, the corrosion. Okay, of the infrastructure. All right, it's saying destroyed, which it is destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. Okay, put the word balm, man. About the Hebrew word tazirah. It means kind, balsam, salve, merchandise, medicine. Okay, meaning to crack by pressure. All right. So supposed to take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. Okay, so balm meaning medicine. What I'm saying, supposed to heal America. All right, make America great again and all that. But basically, Babylon is not going to be healed, because the Lord is bringing it down, man. He said we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Okay. It says, "Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth up to heaven, and is lifted up uneven to the skies," man. Because all the wickedness and all the rape, rob, and murder, man, and all the bloodshed of our people, Israel, man. Okay. All right. Forsake her, man. Don't even dwell on this place, man. Get your mind out of this place, man. All right. Don't even support this fucking place, man. All right. They say, let us go everyone into his own country. And you get all these heathens, okay, all these different nations, man, they going back to their own habitat, man. They going back to their own country because America's done. All right. So why would you live in America with all corrosion of water? And then, in Flint, Michigan, they still didn't fix the pipes. Okay. Say, for her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies, man. Okay. Because the Lord remember her, the Lord remembers her iniquity, wickedness, and it's reaching up to heaven, man. That's why I say Amos 8 and 10. If I quote the scripture right, it says, the Lord is upon the eyes upon the sinful kingdom. This is a sinful ass kingdom, man. All right, that's why the Lord is bringing down this place, man, through infrastructure and through financial. Then it's gonna be martial law. Then it's gonna be race wars, and so forth. All right. So say we will have healed Babylon, but she is not healed, and you see it firsthand, man. Okay. So Babylon is not healed. America is not healed, man, because this place is done. All right. I'm gonna go to my last scripture. I'm gonna close out. This is Proverbs chapter 29, verse 16. It says, when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth. And that transgression is rebellion, man. All right. Ungodly. All right. Being wicked. All right. It says, but the righteous shall see their fall. And we seeing it right now, man. The righteous. Who the righteous, man? The elect. Okay. The men that's pushing this word in truth, sincerity, right? All right. It says the righteous, but the righteous shall see their fall. We seeing a financial falling. Okay, we seeing a infrastructure is corroding. All right, the pipes corroding, the streets corroded. All right, Esau don't have enough money to pay for all these damages that's happening in America. Okay, and we seeing that fall, man. It's part of the fall right here. I'm gonna read this again and say Proverbs 29:16. It says, when the wicked are multiplied, okay. And the wicked, a lot of wickedness is multiplied here in this place, man. Okay. Transgression increaseth. Okay. Ungodly. Okay. Being rebellious towards the Lord. It says, but the righteous shall see their fall. And we seeing this fall right now. And the men of the Lord, the prophets is popping up everywhere. Saying across Babylon, United States, man. Okay. And we seeing that fall, and we prophesying against it too. Okay. So yeah, man. So yeah, America's done, man. It's over with, man. All right. So their water system is bad. Their streets is bad. All right. Their food is fucking bad. Okay. So this is to let you know this place is over with, man. So with that, man, I like to say all praise and glory, honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Wakakodash, Shalom.